So the first thing, in my opinion, for you to becoming a hunter is very simple. Understanding the animal. And for those of you that watch my podcast, I talk about that a lot because, well, it's very important. It's very important to understand the animal fully that you are pursuing. If you know nothing about where they live, how they act, how they respond to humans, not going to be able to be a good hunter. But that second part that plays into that of being a hunter is, well, you're hunting. So, in my opinion, the most important part for you guys to learn as a new hunter is very simple. This right here. Trigger guard, trigger, and where your safety is. Those are the three most important things in a hunt. Why? Because if you don't take care of where you know where this is, and this trigger is, and where the safety is, in correlation with the end of your barrel, you might not go home to your family. Everybody wants to have a safe hunt. Everybody wants to be able to enjoy the outdoors. But if you're not knowledgeable on if your gun is loaded, where your barrel is, and if your gun is on safety, and knowing where this stuff is at all times, it can be a very key part to having a very, very great day turn into a very, very bad day. Gun safety should be the most important thing that you're always thinking about when you're in the marsh. Why do I say that? Well, I've had real life instances where that's come into play for me, and this isn't a scary straight tactic to get you nervous to go out there and hunt. However, when you hunt with people that you don't fully know how safe they are, your life can come into jeopardy very quickly when it comes to being around unsafe people. Who you choose as hunting party group people matters. See, I've had instances in high school with a buddy of mine that, well, he lost his uncle because he forgot all the stuff we just talked about this trigger. He forgot to unload that gun. He forgot that they had a dog in the boat. And when the uncle went to push that boat out, dog stepped on the trigger, and my buddy lost his uncle. Full circle to 20-some years later, me going out with my buddies, air quotes, in the marsh, I almost lost my life because a buddy chose that in the heat of the moment, a duck was more important than the safety of his friends around him. I don't tell you these things lightly or to scare you in any way, shape, or form, but safety has to be in the front of your mind at all times when you're hunting. That is a key part of understanding and learning as you go, because if you're not safe, that's going to sneak up on you one day. And there's going to be a lot of regret that goes with the decisions you've made to not be safe in the marsh. So where do we go with that? Where do we go from the safety aspect of it? Knowing your gun. Knowing the weapon that you have in front of you. Understanding all the pieces and parts that come into play. We will get into more of what guns are what and how, like the pump actions, brake actions, and so on and so forth in further videos. But for the most part, guys, most duck hunters use a semi-auto. It's just a gun that is quick, humane, and gets you on birds. But you need to understand all the easy parts first before you're going and making your pile picks, your videos, and all the other stuff that goes into being a social media person and putting all that stuff out there. Hunting needs to be your sole focus. Hunting. Not brands, not sponsorships, not being a pro staffer, all that kind of stuff. Learn the hunt first, and you'll take more out of it each and every day.